On everyone. So the Lakers took on the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road in OKC and got a much needed win. This was a win that was absolutely crucial for just going forward and trying to make a push for the playoffs. On top of that, this is the whole thing, right? We didn't have our big three. A lot of people I saw just writing this team off, and I was making comments and community posts and talking to everybody and just saying, let's wait and see what the end result is. This team is different. This team has the depth, has the talent, has multiple players. I mean, we had, 6 guys in double figures, right? And several that were just right there, a basket away. This team is much more talented than the previous team. We were playing an Oklahoma City team that, yes, they are solid, but they were missing SGA. You know, it's just having the understanding of letting things unfold. I just see so many people that just jump the gun on everything, right? Something happens and it's immediate. Oh, it's over. The sky is falling. It's done. It's this, it's that, and the other. And it's just take a breath. Let's see what the result is before we believe we know the answer. I see so many people that believe they know the answer, and then it's the opposite of that answer. And on the other spectrum, I see so many people that are like, man, you were spot on again. How do you? And I'm not a mind reader. I'm not a fortune teller. I just simply go, let's wait and see what the end result is, and then make our judgments based on that end result. Yes, is it frustrating that Anthony Davis didn't play? Of course. Was I upset and bothered by it? Of course. Do I wish that they sat him in the Memphis Grizzly game and played him in the Thunder game? Of course. But I understand the logic. And I even said this in the earlier video that I posted about AD being out was, hey, I get that they are probably looking at it as we can beat OKC without Anthony Davis. No SGA. The Thunder are not a great team without SGA. He makes up for a lot of their issues, a lot of their flaws, right? And so I believe the thinking was, and again, I don't know this for certain, but I believe the thinking was play AD against Memphis. He gives us a real chance to beat Memphis. If we can beat Memphis, which I believe we should have, we just lost. We lost that game. I don't think so much they beat us. I just think we lost that game. But regardless, we ended up losing that game. And I think that they looked at it as Davis gives us a chance to win that game. We sit him against the Thunder, and that's a game that we can win without Anthony Davis. No D'Lo, no LeBron, no AD. We got it done. And again, it's waiting for the end result. This team has a lot of talent, and it is still the NBA. You know, the guy at the end of the bench that you've never heard of, that guy is still better than 99% of the world. Everybody in the NBA can score nowadays. We scored 123 points without our 3 best players. That's insane. Think about that. Again, it's just, I say this because I want people to have an understanding of hey, let's take a breath and let's see what the result is before we just come to a conclusion that we know what is going to happen. Now, there's a lot of trolls and just people in general that just like to, say stuff, but I've seen a lot of people that are, diehard Laker fans that are like, it's over, wrap it up, season's done, can't believe it, this, that, and the other, and it's we don't even know what's going to happen. We're not playing the Milwaukee Bucks. And even if we did play Milwaukee, they're not unbeatable. No team is unbeatable. We get hot, we play a good game, and this wasn't a perfect game. It was nice that we shot 46% from 3. That really helped. We shot 48% from the field in general. But this was by far a perfect game. Our defense was sloppy for a good chunk of that game. We still had 13 turnovers, which is half of what we had the previous game, but still would have been nice to kind of cut back on that. Rebounding was a bit of an issue today. Just everything, right? Closing out on guys, doing a better job. But we did. We picked it up and we did, and we got it done. At the end of the day, who cares? The only thing that matters is getting the win, winning the game. That's it. At the end of the day, that's all I care about is getting the win. And now we are half a game out of the play-in against the Pelicans. We are currently in the 11th seed. That is absolutely huge. And we have Minnesota coming up, who is the 8th seed, on Friday. And if we beat them, we get a full game on them. That is huge. But guys really stepped up. I mean, Dennis Schroeder was fantastic in the second half. He had a rough first half, got hurt. We'll see how that goes for him going forward. Hopefully he doesn't miss too much time or any time at all, because it looks like D'Angelo Russell is not going to play in the Minnesota game. So him not playing in the Minnesota game, I think is really going to hurt. And then if D'Lo doesn't, or if Schroeder doesn't play, then I think that just adds insult to injury at that point, because now we have like no point guards. You're going to have Austin Reeves and I don't know, point guard by committee, I guess. Probably going to have to bring in a point guard, maybe sign a point guard to like a 10-day, maybe bring in like especially if Schroeder misses some substantial time, maybe go look at like a Goran Dragic, something like that. I don't know, but regardless, Schroeder was great in the second half of this game. He only had 3 turnovers, 2 steals, a block, 6 assists, 26 points, and just really took over in many aspects of this game. That was really good to see. And I've talked about this. You know, Dennis Schroeder, he loves to play when LeBron and AD are out. He's a guy that has shown that he can go get us 25 to 30 on any given night. Shot 50% from 3. That really helped. 7 to 8 from the free throw line. Just absolute all-around solid performance, in my opinion. And really was a huge catalyst and a big reason why we won this game. And that really helped as well. Next up, Rui Hachimura. I wanted to kind of touch on him. He had a solid game. 9 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 50% from the field, 3 blocks. And on the surface, you look at that and you go, 9 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, a couple blocks. He had a solid game, 27 minutes. He was really good tonight. He was really good. He was everywhere. He was aggressive. He was rebounding. He had some great defensive plays. Not even the 3 blocks. He just had some great defensive plays. And then that 1 block that he got, and then he ran the floor and was rewarded by Beasley for that layup. Just beautiful basketball. Beautiful brand of basketball. This is a guy that we know can score. But it's nice to see him be able to do other things besides score, such as rebounding. He's been a solid rebounder for us since we got him. But just on the defensive end, he was really aggressive, really physical, made things tough on the guys that he was guarding. He had some nice, beautiful switches against smaller guys, and he was able to stay in front of them and make things tough. He had one where the guy still scored, but it was just great defense. It was just a better shot. And that's what I really like to see, because Rui, he's not very quick on his feet. He's more of a bulkier, more brawly, burly type of forward, right? He's not like the Mikal Bridges that's, very thin, that's quick on his feet. He's better suited for like the power forward from a defense standpoint than the small forward. But regardless, made some real plays, just some nice moves, and I was really impressed with his game tonight. And then Austin Reeves, got to talk about Austin Reeves. The guy was just incredible, right? Seriously, he absolutely just continues to impress. 19 points, 4 assists on 5 field goals. 5. He had 5 field goals. Shot 5 of 5 from the field. Perfect game. He's had 2 perfect games in the last 3 games or something like that. He's been just great. And I love to see it. He's just so high IQ, just so great at creating contact, getting to the rim, getting these and ones. He was 8 of 9 from the free throw line. But just an absolutely solid player. Just couldn't be happier for Austin Reeves and his success with this team. He really does just bring so much value. The ultimate glue guy to this team. Just does so much and makes up for so much. I really have been impressed with him. And I definitely want to deep dive into him tomorrow, because he definitely deserves it. He has been fantastic. Touch on is Troy Brown Jr. He was great tonight, right? 19 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, but he was everywhere. Shot the ball great, helped keep us in the game. 2 blocks, 1 steal. He was 4 of 7 from 3, which is always good. 7 of 10 from the field in general. He's a guy that I really have liked this year. He's been very consistent for this team. He's been one of our better defenders. He's a guy that is just solid on both sides of the ball. A lot of people, I feel, really want Troy Brown to be this like Jeremy Grant type player. He's still extremely young. He's 23 years old. And we don't need him to be that. We need him to just play solid defense. He has been great. I mean, when he was guarding Brandon Ingram and Luka the last few games, like he's just been really good, right? Like him and Vanderbilt have been really good as that 1-2 defensive punch. And he's quick on his feet. He's been very good defensively. He had another great defensive game today, but his offense really picked up. And he's been solid from three. He's been one of our best individual defenders this year. But on top of that, he's just like your cool, like, let me go get you 8 a game, 7, 8 a game type guy. And then every once in a while, he gives you one of these games. He is a solid role guy. And that's what we need him to be. We need him to just be a solid rotation guy. We don't need him to be, some superstar, right? It would be nice, sure. But that's not what we need with this roster, with this team. This is the guy that's played 56 games. He's just been in and out, looking great. He's shooting free throws well this year for us. He's shooting the 3-ball well for us this year. Again, nothing elite. He's not like elite in anything. But as far as just consistent rotation, give you quality minutes while he's in, it's great. A lot of people focus on the offense, and he hasn't been the best offensive player this year, but the reason Darvin Ham plays him so much is his defense, is because of how well he's played with this Lakers team defensively. And we don't have a bunch of quick defensive wings outside of him and Jared Vanderbilt. So I have no problems with that. I have no problems with him playing the minutes that he's playing and just playing the role that he's playing, because I think he's done a really good job. I think he's done a great job for the role and position that we want him to have. Should he be starting? Probably not, but he's not supposed to be. We're supposed to have LeBron James in that starting spot. So that's a big difference. When he's the 7th, 8th, 9th guy off the bench, he's that much more impactful. But when he's like, the 2nd, 3rd guy, then it's a big difference. But overall, just a great team. I mean, Lonnie Walker, he's definitely worth a mention. He had a solid game, just being a scorer, and just getting to he didn't shoot very well this game. But he was able to just generate just fouls, get into the free throw line, gave us 8 points in free throws, and was hit a solid 3, a big 3. I like Lonnie Walker, but a couple things about Lonnie is just, one, defensively, he's rough, man. He's rough sometimes defensively. 2, his decision making, right? He gets tunnel vision. You see him. He tries to make plays at times. Like, he had 2 turnovers in limited minutes. And he just tries to do too much at times. He doesn't have great court vision, but he's solid. I love Lonnie Walker. I think he would be great in that like 10 to maybe like 13, 14 minute role where he just comes in and is just an offensive threat off the bench. He played 18 minutes this game, but bring him in, let him play 10 minutes a game. I don't really know how. That's the big problem. Is like, who does he play over? Right? But if you could squeeze just limited minutes and just have him just come in, give you like 8 to 10 points, I think that would be solid. Winning Gabriel, again, on the stat sheets, you might not look at it like offensively he didn't provide much, but just being that energy guy, being what you want him to be, he really did. Rebounding, he was really good rebounding the ball today. Mo Bamba had a solid game, 22 minutes, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. He had a block and a steal as well. Foul trouble continues to still be an issue for him. He's just not a very good individual defender. Like, a lot of people were upset that he didn't get any burn in the Grizzly game. He would have gotten eaten alive by the Memphis Grizzlies. Eaten alive. I mean, Tillman and Triple J would have, he was getting in foul trouble against the bigs that OKC has. Imagine what Triple J and Tillman would have done to him. I mean, and Ja just getting to the rim and attacking and being aggressive and physical. Mo Bamba would have probably given the Grizzlies another 6 points, 6 to 8 points, and Bamba would have fouled out like 2 minutes in the third quarter, and then he would have been sitting anyway. But this was a much better matchup, right? This was a better spot for him to be in, and he was solid. And he is going to get play. He is going to get run. He is going to get burned. I expect him to play some real minutes against Minnesota, right? Because they are big. They are long. They have the two bigs. We could counter it with a Mo Bamba and Anthony Davis. And his ability, and Mo Bamba's ability to stretch the floor. He was 3 of 4 from 3 today, but his shot is just so crisp for a big fella. It really is. I really like what I see. Vanderbilt still did Vanderbilt things. He was great defensively. All over the place, making hustle plays. Really I like this team. I like where we're at. I like what this team's got. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What'd you think? Good win, great win. Do you think we get it done in Minnesota? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below.